Welcome back to the show. We got a great one lined up. Listen to these headlines. Cambrian explosion versus Cambrian extinction. The order book plan, tariff checks, and crypto. You're going to love that one. The Dominos are starting to fall. Bitwise ETF today. Oh my gosh, somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on X, YouTube, and DigPerspectives.com for exclusive content. $3.22 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is off 0.3%. Bitcoin 91,700 plus. Ethereum 3,000 just over. And XRP number 4 spots $2.12. We're off 0.5 on the 24. We're off 14.8% on the 7-day. Everything in the market is off. Just for, reference here, Ethereum's off 13.6. Bitcoin is off 10.9 on the 7-day as well. So let's take a look at this very quickly here. The range of price, which happens to be $2.06 on the bottom and $2.18 on the top. So we will keep an eye on it. But obviously, there's a lot at stake here. A lot of people are feeling that, getting the market infrastructure bill is going to take longer than it appears. So that, I think, is causing pressure on the market. Obviously, we need the markets all around, whether it's crypto or otherwise, to be in a better place. But all of that, I believe, is coming. And I do believe that there's a plan for all of this to turn around and have a great 2026. And that means we have to have a great finish to 2025. Let's take a look at this. And one of the great ways to have a great 26 is to vote for this guy. It's John Deaton for U.S. Senate. And more importantly here, I'm asking all of you, knowing full well what John has done for all of us, to one more time go to johndeatonforsenate.com and let's help him win and make a donation. I just did it this morning. I saw that DAI did it as well. Please make a donation. Let's help this man get into Massachusetts. And number one, return Massachusetts back into the hands of the good people of Massachusetts. Number two, we know that this man is already proven out because he showed up when nobody even knew who he was and took the fight for us and carried it on his shoulders and all of us to a victory. Absolutely helped change the outcome of the SEC versus Ripple case. Let's help this man get this done because it's going to make our country greater and certainly Massachusetts, no doubt about it. JohnDeatonForSenate.com. Right here, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse just landed in the technology category for the official 2025 I can't even speak. The official 2025 Halte 100 Miami list. There we go, Bradley. The list just dropped and MoonPay CEO Ivan is on it as well. So shout out to Ivan and his Ivan Soto Wright. Yes, sorry about that, Ivan. I couldn't remember your last name for a second there. Ivan Soto Wright and Brad Garlinghouse make the Miami 100, the Halty Miami 100. So congratulations to both of them for being recognized. And then let's start right here, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let's hear this clip from the president.
We have taken in trillions of dollars, and it's been absolutely amazing. We're going to be doing a dividend to the people, low and middle income, moderate income people, of at least $2,000. In addition to that, we'll be paying down debt very substantially. It's the kind of money we're taking in. And really, countries that took advantage of us are no longer taking advantage of us. Some of our friends treated us far worse than our enemies on trade anyway, and we've got that all straightened out. And everybody's happy. They respect us again. It's like one of those things. I think they like us better, and they actually respect us, and it works out much better for us.
It sure does, because look at this. History never repeats, but often rhymes lock in. The GOAT reminds all of us after the U.S. government began distributing first round of COVID-19 stimulus checks in mid-April 2020, up to $1,200 per eligible adult under the CARES Act that was signed March 27th, 2020. The cryptocurrency market experienced a dramatic and sustained bull run. This came on the heels of a sharp crash in the mid-March of 2020 when Bitcoin hit a low of about $4,857 amid global pandemic fears. And then by late April, Bitcoin had rebounded to 8,600, crossed 10,000 in early May, doubled to around 20,000 by December of 2020, and soared to then an all-time high of nearly 65,000 in April 21, a gain of over 1,200% from its March low. The influx of stimulus liquidity played a key role, with retail investors channeling portions of their payments into crypto amid low interest rates, lockdowns, boosting online trading, and growing perceptions of Bitcoin as an inflation hedge. Research from Cleveland Fed found that stimulus checks increased Bitcoin trading volume by about 3.8% and buy volume by a similar margin, with a modest 0.6% price uplift per round. Harvard Kennedy School study confirmed that easing budget constraints versus stimulus boosted crypto investing overall. So you see the impact that we could see from this tariff check and dividend that a lot of people in this country are about to receive. Pretty remarkable when you think of it. Now, no sugarcoating here. This is for Bitcoin. The re-enter the channel, high probability. Yes, Bitcoin can reclaim the channel, but under current market conditions, this would require momentum and possibly a macro catalyst. The only thing that could trigger a fast, violent rotation back into risk asset is, he says, gold dropping 3,400 to 3,300. And if gold plummets into that region, money rotates fast and furious, and Bitcoin and tech risk-on assets will be the beneficiary. Now, I would also like to add into that too is the announcement of any kind of accepted Bitcoin strategic reserve bill. But we also know from Senator Lummis that that's a conversation that won't happen till at least 2026. So we'll see what comes of all of this and where we could go. But as the chart shows, the fibs, 1.618 shows 173,000. Now, the channel they're in shows so much more. So this is something we're going to have to watch here and see what happens. But a lot of great points about where the markets are right now. And here's Charles Hoskinson, who says Bitcoin will be up to 250 by the end of 2026. Take a listen to what he lays out. Really great insights here from Charles.
The markets go up and down, and crypto is not immune to the macro. We're still dealing with issues from the tariffs. We're still dealing with a great degree of economic uncertainty. Just this year was a little lackluster, but overall, I'm still very optimistic in the next 12 months. I think we'll clear most of this downside the next 2 quarters, and we'll be back up to $250,000 Bitcoin by the end of 2026.
Okay, so 2 quarters you think it's going to take. But the reality, if you look at some of the technicals here, the many watchers are saying, look, if you look at the time that has taken since the last halving event of Bitcoin that occurred April 2024, this is typically what you see 400 to 600 days after. So more of a technical factor here. But I would say this time is a little bit different in the sense that we've had a whole bunch of ETFs that have been launched. Institutionals have come into this space. We've got an administration in the United States that is crypto friendly. Does that make a difference to any downscale that we could see here that typically could last a lot longer if it were not those factors in the backdrop?
Well, I mean, it's a very different kind of bull market than the last 3 times that we had the 4-year cycle. I mean, the last 3 times it was retail-led, most notably in 2021, where everything reached an all-time high. But this time around, you have BlackRock and Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley and the U.S. government, all others coming in. And really, there's a big transition where a lot of assets that are in the crypto space are real world assets. I mean, if you take a look at the growth of verticals like stablecoins, for example, we're over 250 billion issued, and it's going to be over $1 trillion by 2030. And it's kind of a soft dollarization of the developing world. And there's a lot of estimates that by 2030 to 2035, there's going to be about $10 trillion worth of equities and other assets, traditional assets in the cryptocurrency space.
Now let's stop right there because, okay, we got to 250K by the end of 26, but that 10 trillion by 2030 in tokenized assets, it leans into what we just talked about. We had this conversation just as recently as yesterday. We see things phased in, right? We see things phased in. So that's, I think that was a nice, by the way, 10 trillion in equities tokenized is pretty impressive. And you know, it's not going to be tokenized on the Bitcoin network. Not trying to throw shade, it's just a fact. So where's all that getting tokenized onto, right? Maybe the XRP ledger, some of it, a good portion of it. Dom Kwok from Easy A, shout out to Dom and Phil. Lots of people wonder why crypto ETFs are so important. If you can just buy tokens outright, fact is most people can't buy or don't know how to buy the underlying asset. This is a big barrier to entry that most people already in crypto don't always realize. But what they can buy in pretty much any investment account is a share of publicly traded ETF. So ETFs are an important key to driving mass adoption and accelerating mass buying. He says, in addition to the Easy A app, of course. Shout out to him. Look, this is an excellent point, and this leans into what I was just showing you, which is tariff dividends. So now we have another area where people and citizens are going to get some money they didn't have, right? And didn't work for. And what are they going to do with that money? They're going to come into this market. And some of them are going to come in through ETFs, and some of them are going to come in right through crypto exchanges, right? And some won't come in at all. But we know that there is a reality. Their history speaks to this from back in the day. So that's why we started with that today. And make no mistake, says Hunter Horsley, Bitwise's XRP ETF is set to begin trading tomorrow, which is today, on the New York Stock Exchange. The listed ticker appears to be as $XRP. And I think that might be the baddest ETF symbol ever. $XRP, come on in. Yeah. Now let's look at this here, just so we can get it in the full press release from Bitwise. Big news, the Bitwise XRP ETF is set to begin trading on New York Stock Exchange today with the ticker $XRP, which is the baddest symbol in the world. It has a management fee of 0.34%, which is waived for the first month on the first $500 million in assets. This product brings investors spot exposure to XRP. The crypto asset aims to modernize global payments. Here's why XRP is interesting. This is one of the longest running blockchains with a 13-year track record and super vibrant community of supporters. It's the world's third largest digital asset with $125 billion market cap. And it's going after a massive $250 trillion cross-border payments opportunity. It can settle payments in 3 to 5 seconds for fractions of a cent. And a growing list of assets are becoming tokenized on XRP Ledger, including U.S. Treasuries, digital commercial paper, private credit, and money market funds. And their mission at Bitwise is to provide the most access, exciting themes in crypto. We're thrilled to launch XRP's bring XRP's potential real-world impact to investors through professionally managed investment vehicles. It's on, ladies and gentlemen. It's official. Financial advisors are going to be selling XRP ETFs. That is incredible. The dominoes are starting to fall. Reese Merrick, we like Reese Merrick a lot. Director, Middle East and Africa of Ripple. Yes, shout out to the managing director, Reese Merrick. And then the dominoes started to fall. Well, yes, they do. And they do in the way of ETFs because they're going live today. They do in the way of the fact that banks are coming. Everyone's coming. Think of this full circle moment for Reese Merrick here. For me, at Ripple Swell a couple weeks ago, 7 years ago, when I joined Ripple, I remembered meeting with the largest financial institutions, and it was clear that they felt uneasy even discussing digital assets and blockchain technology. Fast forward to now, I'm moderating a panel at our annual event with 3 of the largest financial institutions globally: Fidelity, Franklin Templeton, and Citi, discussing how they are deploying products on chain. You aren't bullish enough, says Reese Merrick. Boy, I like that. Then you sprinkle in this really quickly here, my conversation at XRP Las Vegas 2025 on stage with the Honorable Christian Carlos. Shout out to you, Chris. Take a listen to this quick clip.
Now, they're floating a lot of ideas, Chris, about how to acquire some of these digital assets. Are you hearing anything about the different suggestions on that? And there's obviously, I've talked about this. I know other people have floated the idea. Is it out of the realm of possibility to consider that there would be a new bond issuance of digital assets in the future? Not next Tuesday, but in the future.
Oh, I think it's more than a possibility.
Yeah.
I think you're going to
And I'm about to prove to you that we're right.
see it at multiple levels. I think you're going to see it at the corporate level. I think you'll see it at municipal levels.
Okay.
And I think ultimately you'll see it at the national level.
Okay. Thank you, Chris. That was our speculative thought, back in the day. And look what just happened. New Hampshire launches first Bitcoin-backed municipal bond. I'll be damned, huh? Well, actually, someone told me in the comments when they said, you should stop saying I'll be damned. You're right. I probably should. I don't want to be damned. You know what I mean? In fact, we're not damned. None of us are. This is fantastic news right here. So I really am excited about this because it proves that that is coming. So now you'd have to believe, if you don't believe bonds for digital assets are coming, one, you're wrong because they're doing it on a state level, the municipal level, right? And then number two, now you have to believe they're not going to do it on the national, federal level. Well, of course they are, right? So this is super exciting. I know we're still speculating a bit here, but how thin is the limb we're standing on, right? Feels like an oak tree to me. So I think it's super good news that it's coming. Like I said, issuing digital asset bonds on the local, state, and federal level is the only way to acquire these digital assets without costing the U.S. taxpayer a dime. The U.S. government can acquire these important assets like Bitcoin, XRP, ADA, and Solana, and others, which President Trump mentioned specifically, while profit sharing with their U.S. citizens, establishing American patriotism, knowing we are all helping to build America's golden age and profiting from it at the same time. I forgot to write that part. Nonetheless, XRP still holds its weight above 2017 all-time high candle close and the highs of 2021, nearly 365 days of accumulation above these prior resistance levels. The moves is brewing, says Chart Nerd. Shout out to Chart Nerd. Give him a follow. And remember, as we roll out of this video today, we did see the price of XRP reach over $90 on Kraken's exchange, just the one. And it was only for a second or two. But I think they finally flipped a switch, says Unknown DLT, preparing the price of XRP for the biggest supply shock in history. And I say to all of you, as was pointed out here by Eggrad Crypto, and we touched on it yesterday, thin order books. That's what happened. There wasn't a lot of liquidity available for XRP, so the price quickly shot up to such a high level. Now imagine for a second that we just talked about, the dividends, the tariff dividends, right? Like a stimulus, right? But at the same time, that money was collected by the government, so we're not going in the hole to get it. That's what's amazing about it, right? Then you have the ETFs launching en masse. Think of it, all of these things playing a factor, and at the same time, in these down markets, what typically happens? The largest players of the world buy up the dips, back up the price levels, so you're not aware that they accumulated a large amount without all of us knowing it. So think of the fact that at some point, thin order books won't just be on Kraken's exchange. At some point in the future, if things go in step, then we're going to see all the exchanges have thin order books. And very quickly, the price will be moved to a level that the largest financial institutions in the world will be able to use it. Not financial advice from me or anyone else, but that's the goal. We just got to get there. We're going into the Freedom Zone. You can join us. Click the link underneath the video. All your daily videos with zero Google ads. And I can't tell you what it means to me and my family that you support the channel in this way. We're going in and we're going back down to Hump Island. We got something for you. I hope you'll join us. We're going inside right now. So come on in.